This week on NintenDomain, Nintendo wants more space for your living area.
I don't know. Is this Nintendo cardboard?
We were promised a flammable robot, and we got one.
Burn it.
Welcome to NintenDomain, episode 104. 104. You know, that's how old Mr. Burns is. I think they actually established that. So.
Oh, wait, and speaking of Burns, like Chibi Robo on Fire, maybe
Labo.
That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Of, like the cardboard.
Labo. Yeah, that was. I had this whole plan for us to talk about games that were coming out this year and all that, but then Nintendo dropped another video, so that's going to be our topic for the week. But you know, this is your NintenDomain podcast here. We're your hosts. I'm Trey. Got Twitch trolled Johnson.
I'm Jereme. So am I going to be using a box with Yoshi Mikowski?
I'm John, do-it-yourself knitter.
Yeah, DIY with Nintendo. Yeah, so that'll be our topic of the week. So we're basically going to save that till the end, and we'll do our intro with news and stuff like that. But just off the top, I wanted to say that I had a big life event this week. I got engaged to a guest on the show that we've had many a times, Jess, and she's also my co-host for the Honey Darling Show. But we're officially engaged, so I wanted to say it on here.
Congratulations!
I want to let everybody know on here because Jess was a big reason that this podcast ever got started, because she helped me buy the recording machine that I make this with. So she's been very integral to the show and very encouraging on my own on all of my dumb nerd adventures and all that. So it's pretty awesome. Super happy about it. I'm sure we'll have all sorts of video game stuff in our wedding, which won't happen until like next year, but pretty rad. I wanted to make sure and mention it for all of you people out there.
Yeah, maybe Mario Kart 9 will be out by then.
That would be awesome. I mean, yeah, it should be out by then. Mario Kart 9 would be great.
Makes sense, 9 and 19, but we'll see.
Yeah, 9 and 19 would make sense, right? Mario Kart 9.
You had any ideas for video game wedding stuff?
No, we'll probably just like rent out a bar or something, but
Is the cake going to be like evil and you have to fight it like a Mario RPG?
I hope so, man. I always wanted to fight a giant cake. No, I don't know. I mean, I said that, wherever our reception is, we're going to have to play, there's going to be some chiptunes in there in the DJ mix. So that's what I said. We'll have some video game music mixed in with other stuff. It was my request for the reception. So yeah, that happened. But aside from that, what have you guys been playing? And if you bought anything, talk about that for the week. Let's do that part.
I didn't buy anything this week.
Yeah.
I'm on like a 2-week, maybe 3-week streak of buying nothing.
Yeah, I think you're not a fan of Nintendo, is what you're saying. You don't give them any money.
Good question. I see how.
I think that's what the fans would say right there. Is like, you're obviously not a fan because you don't buy a game every week. Well,
I'm wearing a Sega shirt right now, courtesy of you.
Yeah, but you can play that game on Nintendo systems. There's a Streets.
Oh, you have your shirt?
That's true. Trey for Christmas got me a Streets of Rage 2 shirt.
Oh yeah, you guys both got your shirts on. You can show them.
It looks good on the red, man. That looks awesome.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
If
for
you
those of you listening to it, it's a picture of the Streets of Rage 2. It's not from the game, you said. It's an album or something.
I think it's from I think it's original artwork, but I found it on the Streets of Rage 2 record that I have. It's a double disc, and when you open it in the middle, there's that big picture. And I was like, wow, that picture's really cool. I wonder if I could find a good version of that online. And then I found it, and I sent it to our good friends at 1 Hour Tees, which I found out that we could actually sell shirts through Shirtsicle, which is the same company that Bob Mackey sells his Talking Simpsons shirts from. So we should do that. If you guys are interested in shirts, email us at NintenDomainPodcast@gmail.com. We can send you one through Shirtsicle.
We got a real good shirt going.
Yeah.
I also got a shirt from Trey.
Yeah, you guys both got my Christmas presents finally. Jereme got the Yoshi's Island title shirt. Yeah, which was... Yeah, that was one that I was thinking about making for myself, and I was like... I think that's where I came up with the idea of it, where I was like, I should just make them for you, make shirts for you guys. Because I know that I promised John on a previous episode that I'd get him a Streets of Rage 2 shirt, so I wanted to keep the promise.
Promise fulfilled.
So, But and plus,
I love these title screen shirts. Like,
yeah, right. Like that was gonna be my. For a while, like I had. This is a couple years ago. Like I would just do like that would be all the backgrounds for my computer would be title screens from Super Nintendo games because I thought they looked so cool. And I have like 100 title screens like in my picture folder on my computer, and I'm just kind of going through and being like, oh, this one looks cool. This one looks cool. Like I have a few like. I want to make like a Super Metroid one. I have like a Super Empire Strikes Back idea that I wanted to do that would look really cool, like the title screen for that. But yeah,
I know one I really want to do now.
What, A Link to the Past? Because that one looks awesome too.
I want to do the Dino Wars cover.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So
I think that'd look really, really good on a shirt.
Yeah, my Star Fox one was kind of the test ground for that to see if that would work because I really love the title screen for that. That's like one of my favorites. So
I fucking love that shirt. I got that shirt. Yeah.
So it's like, that's kind of what I was going for. Like I wanted to do like a Sky Blue Super Mario World one and stuff like that. But 1 hour tease.
What you should do is you should start making 2 of each, and not what you think I'm going to say. Not one for me,
yeah.
But have an extra one so that when you go to like a convention and the same thing happens to you that happened to me, where someone says, "Man, I love your shirt. I wish I could have it." Sell it to them like for a really high price, or like trade it to them for like something that is worth way more than what you paid for the shirt, maybe.
Well, speaking of conventions, do you just want to get into it right now? Because John's going to one coming up.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
We can do it. Let's do it right now.
We can talk about their games and stuff after that.
Yeah, because I have a lot of stuff to talk about, games of the week and all that. But since we're on the subject, tell us about where you're going to. All I know is that you're going. Just tell me, what is it?
I'm going to SoCal Retro Gaming Expo on Saturday. It's going to be at Frank & Sons Collectibles Show, I think it's called. Is the name of the venue, and it's in City of Industry. So people who are going that are going to be on the panels are the Angry Video Game Nerd, Pat Country, and Ian from the CU podcast I like to listen to a lot. The Game Chasers. It's a YouTube show that I like a lot. I don't know if you guys watch Game Chasers, but it's really funny. The Gaming Historian.
I like that guy. I've watched his
Gaming
videos.
Historian?
Yeah, he's awesome.
I think he's cool. I mean, he's done. You should watch him. He did like stories about like the Super Mario movie and like Mario 2 and like a bunch. And like actually, I watched one of the first videos I watched of his was about Dragon Quest 3. One of probably.
I'm almost positive that he was at the Portland. I just didn't go to his panel.
Oh yeah, but they talked about
so I think I'm going to go to his panel. Yeah, because I watch his videos too, and he's kind of like the Ken Burns of video games. Mm. It's really he makes these like in-depth, thoughtful documentaries. About random subjects that you thought nobody else cared about.
Gaming Historian?
And yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, first time I found him was him doing Dragon Quest 3, which is in Japan considered to be like one of the greatest RPGs of all time. That's the legendary game where nobody showed up to work when it came out. Like I know you've heard different stories about it. I don't know. I mentioned it to Jereme before, but Dragon Quest 3, that was the game that came out and everybody skipped work and it was a phenomenon thing. And people thought supposedly that's why they changed the release date of games to a different time. It's not directly involved with that, but that was the famous game that came out and nobody went to work or school because they all took it off to stay home and play the game because it's that huge game. And it's also in like the most top 10s of Japanese gaming magazines always have Dragon Quest 3 high in there. So I respected him for doing that and videos like that. So that's how I found it, was researching that stuff. But continue. Who else is on there? Sorry, just had to talk about that guy for a second.
I don't have the list in front of me, but those were the notable ones that stuck with me. Yeah, so I'll go and I'll see a bunch of panels. And I've not been to a actual dedicated gaming con, but I've been to lots of other conventions with gaming stuff, but I've never been to a dedicated gaming con before. So I'm pretty excited to go and just spend the whole day there and nerd out.
Does it have the games set up to play, like the retro games that you can play?
Yeah, there's going to be an arcade. And
awesome.
I should have pulled this up before the show, but there's a lot of stuff.
I'm looking at I found the website. I was just looking at the people. I want to ask you, have you been not playing games every week because you're saving money to spend money here? Like, will they have a...
Oh, that's a good thought. Sure, I'll go with that.
Booth.
I mean, are they going to have like a booth or a merch tent like the Milwaukee one does?
Oh, yeah, it's all about selling stuff. I mean, it's a marketplace.
Yeah.
But then there's also
going to be like the ones we've gone to, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched videos of people who went to it before, and everything is on sale, and it's about meeting the people, the YouTubers that you like, and buying stuff and playing the arcade games. They got a whole setup of arcade games in there, too.
Yeah, that's cool.
I actually bought games you can buy games from the YouTubers you like, because a lot of them are there, like hawking their games too.
Yeah, right.
And I get paid tonight, so
they got to make money.
I'll be good.
You're getting paid? What? Oh, you get
paid tonight.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying.
Paycheck.
I thought you were going to say you get paid to be there.
Night.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you got paid to be there. I'm like, oh fuck, dude.
No, that would be
how far do you have to travel to get to it? Is it pretty far?
It's 17 miles.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, it's right nearby.
Do you have a printer?
Yeah, I don't need a hotel.
Do you have a printer in your house? Do you have a printer or a way to print cards for NintenDomain? I can send you my business card design if you want to print them out, and you could give them to people while you're there.
Sure. I mean, probably go to FedEx or something. And I can print them up.
I mean, you can. I don't know if you have a printer. Like, if you have a printer, you can just go to Staples or some other place like that and buy business card sheets for way cheap and just print it. And all you have to do is just put it in there and it'll print it. But I made like a PDF pattern, like for NintenDomain. It just has like Mario and Ness and a bunch of other people in there. And you can take it in and get it printed if you want to. If you want to have business cards to show people and all that stuff.
I don't have a printer, but I could probably go to FedEx. I mean, we could talk about all this after the show and everything. But
sure, yeah,
I can. So if anybody is listening who's going to go to SoCal Retro Gaming Expo, be on the lookout for a 6.5 foot tall guy wearing a NintenDomain T-shirt. Yeah, that would be John from NintenDomain.
Yeah, say hello.
So say hello
if you had heard us. Let me ask you this: is there something? Do you have like a holy grail of things that you would look for something like this? Like I know you're probably not I'm sure you're not. There's not like something you're necessarily planning on getting there, or spending a lot of money. But is there like is there like something that you would like get if you saw it and it was a decent price or anything like that? Like an old game that you wanted or used to have? If it was a decent price,
I would totally buy again the Zelda Master Quest disc for GameCube.
Oh, okay. I heard
that thing.
I heard that went down in price actually. The one that was given out with the Wind Waker, or at least according to Retronauts, they said it did. I don't know. I don't think it's as expensive as the other one.
Are you looking for the one with the with the Super Nintendo game on it too, or are you looking for the? You
mean the one with the NES
the one that came
game
with the Wind Waker, the red one?
Okay.
Not
there was another one that had like it didn't have the Super Nintendo one. I don't think it just had Zelda 1 and 2 on it, right?
And Majora's Mask also.
And Majora's Mask.
That was the GameCube.
I'd get the gray one too, but
yeah,
I have a personal connection to that red one because I had it and it slipped away.
Well, we got it together.
Trey and I got it together.
We got it together at that at the GameStop on Canal that you could walk to from the dorms at Columbia. So,
right?
Yeah, and I remember we played it like we got it early because you got it with promo or with reserving it, and we played that game. And I remember because didn't we walked to GameStop and we were there too early and the game wasn't there? Do you remember that? And Wind Waker wasn't there yet?
Or I thought they were closed.
No, they were open. They hadn't gotten the shipment yet because we talked to somebody.
Oh, yeah, so we went off and did something else for a little bit.
No, we went back and went back and played the end of the disc, or at least I did. I played the end of Ocarina of Time, waiting for it, and then went back to GameStop. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm reaching for it.
That beauty.
I can't grab it through the internet.
I got it for $30 at a game store a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's about what it's going for on eBay now.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you have
I would pick that up for $30. Yep.
I'll say have your eBay app ready. Would you be interested? I mean, I was curious, because all you have right now is the Switch as far as Nintendo stuff, right? I was gonna say, would you buy a 3DS if it was cheap, or a DS or anything like that? I'm sure you'll see.
Yeah, I'd get a 3DS because I still have all the games and stuff. I didn't sell any of the games. But I would buy a 3DS. Yep.
I was gonna say you can get as far as eBay prices, you can get the original 3DS for $60. That's what I saw. So. I don't know.
Buy that on an impulse, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if you'd, because you don't have a TV, so I was like, would you buy a GameCube or I guess you'd probably be more into getting a Game Boy Advance or DS or 3DS is what I was thinking. If you sound,
because you don't have a TV,
3DS would be the thing. Yeah, I don't have a TV, so I got all the systems and stuff. They're just not hooked up to anything.
Yeah.
But I would get a 3DS, absolutely. But the debate is, I would get either the original or would I get the XL?
Yeah,
because
you mean
I'm
the
a person
new?
of large hands.
Yeah,
and I need bigger things. But I also like the originals. I like having the originals of things.
Sure.
So
I've heard the 2DS is good for big hands, surprisingly, just because of the form factor.
It is definitely big, that's for sure. The 2DS,
and the way it's laid out, you have more room on the side to kind of maneuver your hands, I guess.
The 2DS is good for big hands because people with big hands need big slices of pizza when they're hungry. You put a piece of pizza on it. Use those plates.
yeah, like the Captain, or what it was called, the Duke, the Xbox Duke.
Right. It's coming back too.
To make fun of.
That controller's coming back.
Why? This controller's dumb. Leave
They're
it wherever
bringing it back,
was.
for a limited time for the Xbox One.
Yeah, for whoever's nostalgic
Really?
for that system.
Yeah,
that
really,
was
I'm serious.
Whatever.
The Duke is coming back for the Xbox One. Wow.
Yeah, so dumb.
Yep.
So I'm the only one, I think, who actually liked the size of that controller. I didn't like
Because
the
it was
buttons. I
huge,
thought the
yeah.
buttons were way too close. They're like little beans, and they squished them all together.
Yeah, and they
My
put
thumb
it.
would hit
they
all
were
four
like
buttons at
little
once.
Well, what always made my brain break was that it was like A, B, X, Y, but they're all the wrong way. They flipped them.
Well, then they
everything.
had the white and the black button, which were weird too. Like I had a hard time with those buttons.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I never really played the Xbox that much, so I don't even know. All I know is that that they were all different. It's like A, B, X, Y instead of like B, A, X, or Y, X, or whatever. It was different than the Super Nintendo one, and it freaked me out. It was strange. Like, where's the A? It's over. No, it's supposed to be here, not there. Whatever. But yeah, no, that'll be cool. Like, I'll be interested. I mean, definitely send pictures. Like, put them on our Facebook page and all that.
I'll be taking pictures, video, all that stuff.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see. I definitely.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure you'll do it anyway. But every time I go to one of these things, I always try to find where the most expensive game is. And Jeremy and I found we got a picture of Flintstones 2. Like somebody had that, and there was like a what was it? Little Samson was like $1,500 or something like that. Yeah. I always like to take pictures of games that are like really, really expensive and be like, hey, here it is. You know, I can't afford to get this, but
I've seen it.
yeah. If you happen to find Cubivore there for cheap, buy it and I'll buy it off you.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, Cubivore.
Because
All right.
well, I'll get to it later in my Twitch story, but somebody commented on one of my plays of Skies of Arcadia and told me that I should play Cubivore and said it was incredibly expensive, and I looked it up and it's like $300 like for like just the disc and all that. So I was
I
like,
told
wow.
you to buy it for you.
If you find it for a decent price, don't be
Decent
buying
price.
it for $300 or whatever. I'm just saying if it's like find it for like 60 or less or something like that. But
If I find it for a decent price, Cubivore, yours.
Yeah, if you can find that. I don't think you will, but look out for it. But yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, that's. Are you planning on trying to talk to the panelists and all that? I'm sure they have hangouts and stuff, right?
Yeah, I'll go up and say hello to everybody. I'm always weird about like meeting famous people or whatever because you're like you can't ask them anything they haven't been asked already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the most you can really say is, hello, I'm John. I like your work. Thank you. That's about it.
It's weirder than I thought. Like it's easier when you're with like a friend when you do it. Like when me and Trey talk to people, like it was a little easier. But when I was by myself in Portland, I found I felt really strange about talking to the people.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I did that first year at the Midwest Gaming Classic. I was like, hi, Bob Mackey. I have my own podcast. What's up? Here's my card. It's like it's funny. Well, today, I mean, this last year, I think I did the most awkward thing ever. I put our 10 like top most downloaded episodes onto a jump drive, and I gave it to Bob Mackey after we were drinking for a while. That was probably the most awkward thing of all time.
He probably remembers it.
Oh yeah, right. I was like, here's some episodes of our podcast. You don't even have to download it. Here, give it a listen. I don't know. It was like
just put this
USB
virus
on
your computer from a stranger.
Yeah, right.
Also give me access to all of your bank account information.
I didn't even think about that. That maybe you thought that I gave him a virus or something. I'm like, here, it's real, man. No, they said they remembered me from the year before, so I don't know. I tried to offer one to Jeremy Parrish, but he's always like, I don't listen to podcasts. So
he does say that.
He says that a lot on his show too, so I believe him. But yeah, it'll be fun. I can't wait to hear all your stories about it, and we'll have an update for next week for sure. We'll do some either live at the show or afterthoughts. We'll record something for that for sure.
Definitely any swagger you pick up for sure. We want to see like if it's free stuff, and if you buy anything, we want to see that shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll bring a big bag.
As I say, I don't know how crazy you'll get, but Jeremy and I went a little crazy at the last one. You should.
Oh yeah, I went crazy at the last one I went to. I mean, I've been getting crazier successively more and more each time.
Yeah. If you learn anything from Jeremy's videos, you should definitely buy weird handhelds that you've never heard of and make videos about them, and then you might be writing about them later. You never know.
Hell yeah.
Maybe my weird purchase will be an Ardu Boy. I don't know.
Yeah.
They'll probably be there.
Probably so.
Yeah. For sure. No, I can't wait to hear how everything is on that. So you're not going on Sunday, right? You're just going Saturday?
I'm just going on Saturday. I've looked at the venue and it's just not that big, so I can't imagine there'll be that much to see in 2 days.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be there for the full 8 hours anyway.
Oh, the only thing I would say about going Sunday is just that sales. Like all of the stuff that they have will go on sale.
Yeah.
On the last day.
You're right that they don't sell.
So you may
be. Yeah, they do like a fire sale at the end. They're like,
so you might be able to get stuff for a lot cheaper.
I hear people just being like, "Buy my stuff. I want to leave." Like they'll be like that.
I also work
Will
Sunday
Age, like-
afternoon, so I wouldn't be able to stay the whole day, but maybe I can pop in for the morning.
Sure. But just and always make offers for everybody. Wheel and deal. Like they're all into that, Be like, I'll buy it for this much and see if they'll sell it to you or not, It's pretty much how I went for it. Cool. Well,
And drop off
decided to
our
go,
business cards in the bathroom.
we had these little
Put them on top of the toilet dispensers.
I also made these. Well, I made these little like bigger things based on your design. That's the one that's online and all that, and we kind of put those all over the place. Yeah, in the bathroom and on like if you saw like little end table things that had other shit in there, we put it by that, so it looked like it was a part of whatever person's stuff was there. So I don't know if it ever.
My favorite person I've given a card to was that drunk mom at the hotel in Portland.
I'm sure she's our number one fan now.
She had
right now.
absolutely.
Hello, drunk mom.
She was awesome, but like she had no interest in the podcast. She wanted it for her 9-year-old son or whatever. I'm like, we say fuck sometimes. She's like, oh, that's fine. He watches the internet.
That's a good reasoning. It's okay. He already watches fucking shit and everything on the internet.
Well, I mean, I did that.
She's like, and his dad, God bless his heart, he's got a really bad mouth.
Yeah, right. I've heard that. I mean, my sisters have said that before. Like, I made like my nieces like punk mix CDs, and I'm like, there's a lot of cuss words in there, and she's like, whatever, she's like, everything on the radio is bad. It's fine, whatever. I don't care. I'm like, all right, cool.
She ain't wrong.
Yeah, she's like she's heard all of it. It's no big deal. But yeah, we're excited to hear what comes of that. But aside,
can't wait.
Yeah. On from there, let's talk about what games we've been playing for the week. Aside from, you said you hadn't bought anything, but have you been playing the same? What have you been playing?
More Rocket League for me.
Yeah. Did you play the Dragon Quest Builders demo?
Oh, I forgot to download that. Yeah, no, I haven't played it.
Oh, okay. We definitely have to talk about that. I know that Jereme and I both played that game.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be in ours. Have you gotten above veteran, or are you still just a veteran on Rocket League? How does that work?
I'm still just a veteran. Yeah, no, I didn't graduate. I think it's next is expert and then master or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know if
maybe.
I don't know if it was one person watching our Rocket League video a bunch of times, but when I dropped that video on YouTube, it got like 20 views like in like 2 minutes.
I saw that,
and then like kind of gapped up after that. It was like really.
I think that's I think it might be the Twitter thing.
What, did I tweeted Rocket League with it or something?
I just think a lot of Twitter people like see the video like right when you first post it, and then that's your like big influx.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Some cases.
Well, do you want to talk about that then real quick before we get to our games, Jereme?
About
the YouTube thing? I guess YouTube is changing their policies. We never made anything off YouTube, so this doesn't really affect us, but it still kind of like bums me out a little bit. I got a letter from YouTube, and I sent it to Jereme, and they said that because, it said like you have to get a certain amount of views, or a certain, somebody have to watch your stuff a certain amount of view time, but view time we actually did really well on. We're totally fine for that. But apparently we don't have enough subscribers for us to stay monetized or whatever.
You need 1,000, yeah.
So they're going to take that away from us.
More than we have.
Yeah, we have 25. So if there's 975 people out there, or if you, the listener, know 975 people, like, tell them that we got some funny stuff on the internet sometimes,
I mean, no sweat off your back, right? Just subscribe. You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah. But I was...
If all 25 of you just tell like 40 of your friends. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, who has 40 friends? We're all friends, all however many people listen to this. But... yeah, it was a weird thing, and it said like 4,000, like you needed 4,000 minutes in the past like year, and I'm like, there's no way we were under that. So I actually looked at our like stats, and we have like 9,000 minutes like from this month like alone. So that's pretty cool. Wow. People actually do watch our shit, and I noticed this, like there was this huge spike, and I'm like, when is this? Like there was a spike that like 8 hours was watched of our stuff, and that was when I dropped that fucking Rocket League video. And the Splatoon 2 and Rocket League one, like it dropped those at the same time. So that was when our big spike was. I was like, Weird. I guess people.
I did
actually watched
notice
it.
that I was looking at the metrics in it. I think it's helped out to have the playlists. I think those help.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't.
Because it'll automatically advance to a related video, and sometimes people will just keep watching, which I know I do on YouTube all the time. Like it'll go to the next video. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'll keep watching.
Yeah. Now what we need is our stuff to show up in like other people's stuff that people watch, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our YouTube news. Actually.
Well, anyway, so I read a little bit more about it, and just about what you actually needed besides the subscribers to ever get paid out by YouTube at all. You have to make $100, which I don't know what we might have been up to, like 40 something, maybe.
I think we were like,
I checked.
I thought we were like 6 or something. You mean like what we're worth? Like whatever.
I thought like the total amount was like more than 6, but
well, it fluctuates. It seems to change every time.
But once it gets to $100, that's when you can like get your first check from YouTube. You get $100.
Oh.
Probably they take taxes out or whatever, but
okay.
That's when you can get your first check. So, in a lot of ways, it's kind of like sad. Obviously, we're like small potatoes compared to a lot of the people that are being affected by this, but they're all small creators like us that are just like grinding for the fun of it or for the love of it, even, which we're doing for sure. And like a lot of people aren't going to ever get their first paycheck. Like they might be so close to get their first YouTube paycheck. And
yeah, I was kind of bummed about it just because some of those videos that we put on there got a lot of views, like that, like the Ardu Boy one that you just put up, Jereme, like got a lot of views, like comments too,
Good.
And I don't know if you've seen like people who made the games, who found their games on there, were like really excited about it, and they commented on it.
I haven't seen any comments.
Yeah. But I wanted to say, I wanted to tell you.
Is that on Twitter or on YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, I guess I haven't seen those comments.
Yeah, I get it. I get an email every time somebody comments on our YouTube stuff. But I have a story involving YouTube comments. If you guys want to segue to that,
sure.
So I put up my playthrough of Mom Hid My Game on there, and and I have like I don't know, probably close to like 700 views on there or something for that. And I've been getting like a lot of like comments about it, and I'm getting comments about day 25 of the game, which is like
what's day 25? I forget.
Day 25 is the one where you have to do the Hadoken, where you do the Ryu Hadoken.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
And it's so weird because I'm getting like comments from people who don't know how to Hadoken or don't know what a Hadoken is. That's like this is like so bizarre to me because I'm growing up thinking that Street Fighter 2 is like common knowledge and like everybody knows like the Hadoken or they know like Ryu or whatever. And and I said like some guy like commented on, he's like, I really can't figure out how to do 25. Like, why didn't you explain it? And all I do and I watched it, and all I do in the video is I'm like, oh, Hadoken, haha, and then I do the Hadoken, because I know how to Hadoken. And he's like, you don't explain how to do it. How do you do it? And I'm like, well, you do a quarter circle forward, like Ryu's move. And then somebody else is like, well, can you please explain what that is? And I'm like, really? Like it kind of like blew me away for a second. I'm like, wait, I guess I have to realize that there's younger people who don't know what Street Fighter 2 is, or they don't know like Ryu or whatever. Just kind of like maybe it'll be like, what? I have to explain a Hadoken to you? And I did.
Right.
As best
and
as I
not
could.
to mention that in that level 25, it says the exact button presses to do on the wall.
I know. That's what I said. And somebody asked me to explain it. So I said, do the button presses that are on the wall, do down, forward, A, which is the same thing that you would do if you were doing Ryu's Hadoken from Street Fighter 2. I'm like, it's just weird. It's like, that was like the most thing I got commented on was day 25 of Mom Hid My Game. So that was kind of an interesting thing, to wake up to check your email and find people asking you how to do the Hadoken for Street Fighter.
You should cut an ad from that video for the new Street Fighter collection.
Yeah, right? This is how you do
These kids don't know Street Fighter.
You should know. Well, now everybody has Switches, Street Fighter collection. Mom 12 games.
Mom hid my fighting game heritage.
Mom hid my Hadoken. I can't find it. Do you remember those? Did you ever watch those Street Fighter the later years?
From College Humor.
Yeah, from College Humor. That was one of my favorite jokes from like one of the first episodes was that Ryu was like doing TV commercials now, like selling Hadokens to people. Like that was his thing. There's like as seen on TV, you could order a Hadoken from him, and like that was he had like made a bunch of money, like just finding a way to sell the Hadoken. thought that was funny.
What was it? Just like a fireball?
Yeah.
Sent you or something?
Yeah,
And
no,
then-
it's like it was like a TV commercial where he's like, I can teach you how to Hadoken. Call this number and
he
give me
teaches
your
you how
card.
to do it.
Yeah, he's like, it's basically what it was. He's like, I can do.
I thought it was like you dial up the number and you order the Hadoken, and then it just like comes and knocks you out.
No,
like, off camera.
No, you're supposed to be
I was
able
thinking
to
you
do
like
it.
Hadokens into a jar and they like put a cork on it.
I'm saving this one for later. Yeah, learn how to Hadoken, kids. If you don't know how, it's an important thing. It'll get you through life. Hadokens are important things to know. Unless you're getting that SNK game where it's one button to do moves, then you don't need that. But for everything else, you need it. So let's get to the games then, I guess.
Sure.
After the YouTube moment. What have you been playing this week, Jereme, or have you gotten anything?
I haven't gotten anything new that I've played, but I did get a new game. My friend Kyle, whose son actually, his 5-year-old son, spotted some Mario cereal here in town. He was out with my friend Kyle was working, and he got a text from his wife. It was a picture of his son holding the cereal. Like his son knew to look out for it. Like my friend's wife had no idea. And he's like, "Dad wants this cereal." So she bought they had 5 or 6 boxes. She bought all of them, and he gave me a couple of boxes. So that's awesome. But he also gave me a sealed copy of Sonic Mega Collection for the GameCube.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
He was
a good
like,
game.
I just found this in my closet at my parents' house. I forgot that I had 2 copies of this. I guess for some reason he bought 2 copies of it, and he just had an extra one laying around. So that's pretty awesome. I thought I had that game, and then I realized it was the Mega Man collection.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got confused. But no, I didn't have it. So now I have all the Sonic games on GameCube, all the original, basically the ones we talked about before, Sonic Mania. Most of those are on there.
Did you open it?
No, it's still sealed.
Okay, I was wondering if you were going to open it or not.
It's the greatest hits edition, so I mean, if there was any possibility of it being worth something, it wouldn't be the greatest hits version.
Yeah.
So I'll open it when I feel like playing it. I just haven't. I have all those games on my Sega.
That's true. Yeah, you did buy the cartridges of those, so you have them.
And I have my Sega's hooked up, so I can just play it that way.
Have you?
That's still cool.
Have you played Twin Snakes yet?
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. I've been playing a lot. Well, for one, I've been playing a lot more Worms because I just want to get better at it because I was kind of embarrassed how bad I was when I played you.
That video that we put up, yeah. Worms is
right,
a weird game, though. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun, and I find it's a game that I can put a movie on or something, on one screen, and I can play Worms on the other screen and just kind of zone out. And I get better at it when I just kind of zone out and just play it.
Sure. Have you played online at all?
What's that?
Have you tried playing online at all?
No, I'm still too scared to do that.
Oh, okay. I was interested, if people are playing it or not. I haven't really.
I'll try it though.
Yeah, the only time I tried to get online was when we tried it that one time and it didn't work. But I'm curious to who's out there playing Worms or how good they are. I don't know. That'd be a cool thing to try.
Yeah, but I did speaking of Twin Snakes, I did start playing that, and I started recording it. I haven't posted anything of it yet, but I started recording it. I got to a certain point in the game and it froze.
Oh no!
And I was a dumbass and I didn't save.
Did a big exclamation mark pop up on the screen?
and then it's
no.
And
it just
it froze. Yeah.
It was during what would have been the beginning of a cutscene, and then it just didn't start. So I'm afraid that because the disc is a little beat up, and I got it for pretty cheap on eBay.
Oh no!
Maybe the disc is scratched. So I'm gonna go back to it, and maybe later tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna try to play from that point on and see if I can get past that point. And if I can't, then I'm gonna have to either get a refund on the game or look for another copy of it or something. But
yeah,
it's kind of a bummer, but. Maybe I just got unlucky. Maybe I need to clean the disc off. I'm going to try a few things first, but I like it so far, and it looks like an early GameCube game. I remember it looking really, really good, but of course, that was the game's 15 years old now almost.
Yeah, rose tinted glasses or whatever.
Yeah,
memory glasses.
Yeah,
I thought it looked good. I don't know. I haven't played it in a while either.
It looks no. Don't get me wrong. It looks good, and the animation of everything's super smooth, and the controls are fairly intuitive. It's different because it's not a Nintendo game, a first-party Nintendo game. But
sure,
I'm getting used to the controls and enjoying it. So I'll definitely play through that, and I'll probably start posting some videos of it once I don't know if I want to post everything or if I just want to do a highlight video type of thing, or maybe do a review when I'm done. I haven't decided yet.
Oh, okay.
I will say I'm really bad at it so far.
I was going to say you should
haven't posted anything.
You should definitely try streaming it because I don't know. I have a Twitch story which I don't have to get into yet, but people like GameCube games is what I realized through that. So you might find.
I'm still waiting on my HD adapter, which I really hope I get soon.
Yeah, you haven't gotten it yet, or has it even shipped, or did they let you know? Right?
No, last I heard, he was waiting. He said everything was done, just that the case wasn't up to what he wanted it to be, and he thought everything was fine. And then they sent him a prototype of the case, and it wasn't what he wanted at all. And so, rather than send it out with the shitty case that he was afraid of, being faulty or whatever, it's just been delayed even more. So he sends out an email once a week. I think it's pretty noble, like he's still keeping us informed of how it's doing, because he's got, I don't know if it's Taiwan, I can't remember if it's Taiwan or just China or whatever, but he's got people making it in a factory, overseas, and that way they can mass produce it once it's exactly up to his specs.
Oh, sure.
But I really wanted that footage of Twin Snakes, but I'm just going to start capturing footage now. And then if I end up getting the adapter while I'm playing it, it'll be like Wizard of Oz, and it'll turn color halfway through the movie or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'll notice notice the difference or whatever, right? Yeah, but sure.
Needless to say, I'm really enjoying it so far, and it's cool to play that on the GameCube. That's a game it's been on my bucket list for a long time to own that.
Sure,
it's nice to finally own it, and I bought it and forgot I bought it, so it was like a nice surprise when it arrived in the mail.
Oh yeah. The drunken surprise. It's like, oh yeah, I bought that.
Yeah, that was a drunken eBay purchase.
Well, you can always try there's like that disc gel that you can get to like rub on the discs to help them. They used to sell it at GameStop. I tried it on a couple discs that I had that wouldn't play, and I think it made some of them work, some not, but it's about all you can really do.
I think they might do disc repair, disc replay. I'd have to check, but that's another option. I could take it up there and see if they would fix it up for me.
How long is the refund? Like, is there a limit like to when you can get a refund on eBay? Like, does it have to be within a week or 2 weeks or whatever?
The thing is that people are more worried about the bad feedback than the refund. I think the bad feedback is more detrimental than just giving me a refund.
Yeah. I mean,
it wouldn't matter either way.
I'm sure the person said that it worked, right?
If he was super explicit within the description about the refund period or something, that would be a different story, but I'll have to look. Yeah. I'm not too sore about it. I knew I was taking a risk. He had good high quality pictures, and I saw that the disc looked kind of weird, and I still bought it, so
sure.
I'm not holding that person totally accountable. But it did say it was totally functional.
Yeah. That's what I say. The main thing is that it was functional, and if it's not, then
yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned, I'm sure I did like years ago, but that weird Arcade Expo thing that Jess and I went to where we met Billy Mitchell, and I bought the one of my Holy Grail games that I could never find for a decent price. I bought the Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness for GameCube, which was a full-on Pokemon RPG on a console. Crazy.
Which is about Oprah's evil friend.
Which normally, Gale of Darkness?
Isn't her best friend Gale?
I don't know. I thought you could make a joke of it having to do with Disney XD too, or something, or some sort of weird emoji thing. But yeah, it's an RPG, and I bought it from this guy, this kid. His name was like Jaden or something like that. And it didn't work. It was completely scratched to shit, and it never loaded. Like, it wouldn't even load. Like, I couldn't even like play any of it. So I hunted him down, and thankfully he sent me my money back, and I sent him the disc back and all that. So we did get it worked out, but it was like one of those things that he was selling. Like, it was like part of a deal. Like, you could buy a GameCube, and it came with this Pokemon game for like however much money, and I was like, and for like $40 or something like that, and I was like, can I just buy the Pokemon game? Like, what would you give me that for? And I got it for like $30, and I was like, that's awesome, because the game normally doesn't sell for like less than $60. So, but it didn't work. So I never actually got to play it. So it sucks. But yeah, maybe if you see one of those, let me know. while you're in the retro land and all that. It makes me wish that the Midwest one was sooner, because
it's in April, right?
It's always fun. Yeah, I guess it's not that far away, but
not that far.
Those are always fun to go to.
That's what I liked about. Well, going to Portland, it was like pretty much exactly 6 months after the Milwaukee one. So when that one was over, I had that blues again about it being over. And I'm like, well, 6 more months.
Yeah.
If I time this right, I could, have a convention every 6 months and feel good about it.
You start saving like in the beginning of 6 months, and then you can buy like a Vectron or whatever it's called. What is it?
I really want a Vectrix. Yeah, that's my like holy grail at this point.
Yeah, it's huge. Hard to transport, but still pretty rad. I mean, you'd have to record videos of that if you got one of those beauties.
It would be hard to, but I would try.
Yeah.
How much do those go for?
They're worth about $500. I think it's up until a couple of years ago, you could get one for like $200 or $300, but because of their like popularity on the internet, they're usually hovering around $500 at the convention. So I think like maybe if I could haggle someone down to like 400, but that's still a lot for a Vectrex. Like I don't want it that bad.
I wonder if they're even reliable too. 'Cause it's 30-year-old CRT.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, it's
what you got to deal with that.
How much it's actually been used, and if it's been like stored well. And there's like a lot of factors. It's an old, like you said, it's a CRT, so there's a lot that could go wrong with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
whatever, 35 years. I think how old that system is now. It's like, well, it's older than me. It came out like a year or two
before you did.
I was born.
Yeah,
I think it came out late 80. But there's one cool thing about it is there's homebrew for it. Like you can get homebrew games made for the Vectrex, like recently.
Oh yeah, because there was one at Logan. The Logan Arcade had a Vectrex new game that somebody made. I remember that. It's not there anymore, but crazy.
So I mean, I'm not thinking I'm going to get some kind of amazing new game on Vectrex. It's just a novelty, but it's cool. It's vector based.
It looks cool. It definitely looks cool.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be happening anytime soon.
Yeah,
it's like years. It'll be years before I own one of those, if I ever do.
Yeah, it looks dope though. I mean, it's pretty pricey, but it looks awesome.
I think my next big goal would be like another handheld. That's kind of what I'm hooked on. I want either a Wonder Swan or a Neo Geo Pocket.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to go for like a Neo Geo Pocket Color or some other. What about a Nomad? Did anybody ever have one of those?
I'd love to have a Nomad.
Apparently, they don't work very well. Yeah,
they have a similar thing going on with their screen. Their screen degrades.
Yeah, I heard that the screen looks terrible
badly over time.
Yeah, it's the same as the if it's the same as the Game Gear screen. Like mine went spinach green.
Yeah,
my Game Gear did. So
serves them right.
Yeah,
because they made fun of Game Boy for so long for having spinach green.
Spinach green. Yep.
And now they're spinach green. Look at that. Look at how that happened, Sega. I wanted a Nomad like ever since I found out that it existed. I was like, wait, you can play Sega games like on the go, like Genesis games, like that's fucking cool. Like that was what I wanted for my Super Nintendo. I was like, man, what if I had a Super Nintendo to go, which you can get now, but in like in my high school mind, I was like, wow, that's insane. That's freaking cool. Like that's the coolest handheld I've ever heard of.
Nomad was the first Switch.
Yeah, but nobody ever. Yeah, exactly. But nobody ever really had one. I guess I never saw one. Like I didn't know.
I remember seeing it at Toys R Us back in the day. It was in the cage, like going through the line.
Yeah.
It came out pretty late in the game, like 95 or 96. It was like a last ditch thing for Sega.
It was around the same time as the Virtual Boy when the Virtual Boy went on clearance. I remember seeing the Virtual Boy like in bins at Toys R Us for $30.
Next to the Nomad.
And then like back behind the cage, I remember seeing the Nomad, and that was still like it was like $200 or something like that. It was expensive.
Yeah, well, for the time it came out, that's super expensive.
That was when Sega was trying to set the Guinness World Record for most hardware released by a single company.
Yeah, right. For sure. It's like we got the CD, we got the 32X.
It's supposed to have even worse battery life than the Game Gear.
And the
Game Gear it's just a stinker of a system.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it is a Sega, so it functions as a Sega. If you can plug it in and everything, that's pretty fucking cool. I'll give it that. But battery life, you had to buy like a giant like supplemental battery pack for it to get like even like 3 hours, I think, out of it.
Jeez, it's ridiculous. Is that all you played for the week then? Well, you did play.
Yeah, after that huge tangent.
You did play a demo that we both played that we should definitely talk about here.
I played all the way through it too, and
it's awesome, right?
I tried to do extra stuff in it, but it wouldn't let me.
Oh yeah. We're talking about
because there's like an invisible barrier.
Oh yeah, you can't go to the next part, or you can't use the teleporter or whatever. But you can still go around and kill monsters, right?
Yeah. We're
talking about Dragon Quest Builders demo, which I streamed after the direct last week, and I'm super. You know what? I really want that game. I'm very excited about it. That's why I wanted to talk about like our games that we're excited for that are coming out, because that's probably the one that's releasing the soonest. That's like a full game. Is that one, because it comes out first week of February, and I'm super psyched about it.
I feel like you've talked about that one for a while, as far as like why isn't that this getting released on a Switch or on a Nintendo system?
I did, like when
you probably talked about it in the Wii U days.
Well, it was I talked about it when they showed the Switch, because those were two. Remember, there were the two games that I wanted. was Doom and Dragon Quest Builders. And then there was that one direct that showed both of them on there, and I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, this is my next like big the next big game that I'm really excited about is Dragon Quest Builders.
It's in April or March? What month is it?
February.
Oh, it's in Feb.
Yeah, it's February. It's the first week of February, so it's like only a few weeks away. So I'm excited about it. But the demo,
and it's $40, right?
I don't know what the price is. There hasn't been a price for it yet. I did see that somewhere somebody said that Dark Souls will be $40 when it comes out, so that's a cool price. I like that.
That makes me think that I might give it a try.
That makes it more appealing.
Yeah.
If it was $60, I don't know if I'd want to do it. But
although I'm almost positive I got it for free on the Xbox, like it was like my free game of the month or whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, then, do you still have to pay for it still? Do you have to have like Xbox Gold to play it? Does it work like PlayStation Plus?
I don't know. I should try to see if I can load it up.
Because PlayStation Plus, like they give you free games, but you have to keep PlayStation Plus. Like if you don't have it, you can't play the game.
I don't think that the Xbox is like that, but you still have to have your console connected to the internet to start the game.
Oh, okay.
Even if you don't have an account, which is kind of stupid. But.
Yeah, well, that's how it works for that. It has to be connected to the internet because it has to know like whether you have your subscription still or whatever for it. But yeah, no, I really like Dragon Quest Builders. I know Jereme was a big Minecraft guy, but the thing with Minecraft is I don't know. I never really knew what to do because it was too like open ended. And Dragon Quest has like objectives and a story and all that, and I like that. And plus, it's Dragon Quest. I have nostalgia for playing it 2 years ago. You know, it actually did kind of like.
It's listed at $49.99 on GameStop. Sorry,
$49.99
for DQ Builders. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I would have bought it for $60. I don't care. I like that game. But but no, it's cool. What I really like about that game is it takes place in the alternate ending of Dragon Quest 1 for NES, which I had a resurgence of Dragon Quest stuff like 2 years ago. If you listen to our Best of 2015 episode, which was like episode 9 of NintenDomain, I say that Dragon Quest 1 was my favorite game of that year, which was a game I got, you know, with Nintendo Power for free and all that stuff, and didn't understand it when I was a kid because I didn't understand RPGs until later. But I really love that game, playing it like in 2015, 2 years ago, because...
And you played it on your NES?
I played it on my NES. I played the whole thing. I played through the whole thing in like a couple days, pretty much, and it was really cool. And it was basically, I liked it because of the simplicity of it, and I liked the music and all that. And all that shit's back like for Dragon Quest Builders. Like the song in there is the song of Alefgard, and you're like in Alefgard and all that. And I actually did both of the endings at the end. Like at the very end when you meet the Dragon Lord, he'll ask you if you want to join him, and you can say yes. And if you join him, he basically destroys the world, and like it becomes nothingness and filled with monsters. And that's where you start Dragon Quest Builders, which is kind of cool, like to explain why there's nothing there, why everything's destroyed. It's the alternate ending from a game that was released like, I don't know, like fucking 30 plus years ago. You know, I think that's kind of cool for Dragon Quest nerds. You know, I enjoyed that. But it's it's very much like Minecraft. Like you can make stuff, and you know, you make houses, but they don't need roofs, I guess, because it never rains there or something. But
yeah, I jokingly called it Minecraft No Roof Edition, but it's not like Minecraft. It's a lot different. I don't know, because Minecraft became a genre, and a lot of people argue that, I don't know what you'd call that, but it became its own genre.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. It's a lot like the first Mario in some regards. And what it's inspired.
I mean,
so when you see like a main company like Enix or whatever making what's essentially a Minecraft clone, but they've made it unique enough that it's not just that, you know, it's that plus its own spin on it. And it's more objective based, like you said, you know, there's like, it's not as open-ended, which some people are going to prefer because it feels more like a polished game and not a sandbox.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I prefer it to be more like a game, you know, because I can only, when you put me in an area and don't tell me what to do, I kind of like don't really have a drive to what to go do next, you know, aside from surviving zombies or whatever. So it's kind of. I was
gonna say, Zelda did that a little bit. The newest Zelda, but there's still objectives.
But there's shrines and
find on your map.
Yeah, there's shrines and Koroks and bosses and Ganon, and like there's stuff to go to. You know, there is a strive, which I almost totally forgot about that. But I got the motorcycle on Breath of the Wild.
You got the motorcycle?
Yeah, I love it.
Nice.
I found like 10 shrines after I got the motorcycle because I just started driving around to places that I hadn't been before.
Wow.
And I found a whole fucking Donkey Kong Country tropical looking area that I never found before in like the south part of the map. I don't know if you guys found that, but
is it the southeast?
Yeah, that surprised me.
Where there's the hardy durians there. And it's like
that's where I got all my durians, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a giant. It's like it like looks like the giant trees that you see from like Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo,
yep.
Like the big leafy like green trees. I never found that. Like I was looking at the heroes whatever path, and it showed I never went there. And
yeah, there's like this huge area, and I think I've went there maybe once.
Yeah,
throughout the game, but like. Oh yeah. Anyway, to go into a tangent,
I went there and got like a bunch of durians and then cooked them or whatever, made them in the
hardy
full
durian
health thing, and that's how I beat the game pretty much. I just had a shit ton of hardy durians.
Yeah, there's a lot of durians there because I was cutting down because I found the town, the Terry town. You guys found that right, where you gotta like find the guys.
You need a shit ton of wood.
Yeah, so I was trying to get the 50 wood, and I was cutting down all the trees, and like all the hardy durians fall down too. But have you gotten the motorcycle yet, Jeremy? Have you made it through all the DLC?
No, okay. I haven't done anything beyond finally solving that one.
Beyond finding the Bokoblin or Moblin or whatever it was that
was on top of the fucking tree that for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah,
sorry. That for whatever reason the Sheikah Slate couldn't detect, even though I had it set to that specific type of Bokoblin. That was a Bokoblin, right? Yeah, that's a Bokoblin.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't detect it.
Yeah. So you're still in the way beginning of it.
I am. I've gone back to it a couple of times, but I haven't really. I keep getting distracted. I ended up finding a couple of new shrines myself, just because that first area it sends you to. I looked on Heroes Path and I hadn't done a whole lot there, so I found I think 2 new shrines that around in that area.
Oh, after the tuning fork, right?
Yeah, after the tuning fork. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, because you got to the part with the pillars and the pictures and all that, right?
Yep, I'm at that part. I just haven't done anything in that part.
And I know before I bitched about like not being able to find the places and all that. For the last like 3 of them, I actually did find them on my own without looking online. So they do get like because I went to the fire one and that one's really easy to figure out where stuff is. So I did kind of like figure it out. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but the part after that is really cool. Like there's a final part after you find like all the pictures and fight all the bosses again. There's a final part that you do. And it's really cool. Like, I like it a lot. Like, that part was, like, pretty much made the whole DLC pretty awesome. So,
cool.
That's kind of
I'm going to keep playing it. I mean,
that's a goal.
And it makes me happy that I'm still playing Zelda nearly a year later.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm playing it on Wii U. Like, I'm still, like, rocking the Wii U for it. So, but I love that motorcycle. That motorcycle is so cool. Like, I was just like, and I killed, like, first thing I did is I went and killed a bunch of Guardians with the motorcycle just by, like, driving into them and just hitting them with the sword. Like, just driving the tire, like, right into the bottom of them and flipping them. So it was so much fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was great.
Nice. Fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of
fun. So if you got
fun.
that motorcycle on the Switch, you could actually like get your Nintendo Labo and build a little motorcycle and ride around.
Well, it would take me a long time to get there on the Switch. I mean, I thought about maybe getting the DLC again for that, but I got to get there. So I've still just be playing the Wii U one because I got the motorcycle on that one. So yeah, I played that. Like I've been playing a lot of stuff this week. My Twitch story is I've been playing Skies of Arcadia on Twitch. I've been doing. I decided I'm going to do a whole playthrough. I'm going to play through the whole game, like on Twitch. I'm going to record all of it, put it on YouTube, whatever. And I was on my second playthrough the other night, and all of a sudden, like, I started getting a ton of like people watching it. Like there was like 10 plus people, and I'm like, what? And then I saw that somebody was hosting me. Like that's never happened before. Like somebody like took my video and like put it on their page so like more people could see it and all that. And it was cool. And this was like 3 a.m. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like staying up at 3 a.m. watching me play Skies of Arcadia. But it was awesome. Like it was like the first time that I felt like I was doing something cool on Twitch, and I was getting a bunch of comments and stuff about it. And one kid was like, "What are you doing next? This is cool. Like you should do Cubivore." That's where I heard about Cubivore and all that. And I'd heard about it before, but I didn't know it was super expensive. But yeah, it was cool. And I played for like 3 hours because people kept watching me, and I probably could have. I still had people watching like when I ended it. It was just like 5 a.m, and I was like, I gotta go to bed now. But I was like, maybe they thought I was going to play through the whole game or something, but it was cool. Like, it was nice to have an audience and all that. And it felt like people were really into it. Like, we got some more followers from that. We broke 100 for our views and all that stuff. So it was a cool Twitch story. And on the other,
maybe we need to go there instead of YouTube. We can still put stuff on.
No,
YouTube.
I do both. I Twitch stream it and then I put it on YouTube afterwards. Is what I've been doing. I hit both sides. I Twitch stream it, and then I take the video that I made from that. I'll either edit. I'll edit if I want to, or just put it. I've just been putting it straight up because it's quicker. just putting it straight on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah.
But on the other side, I did do I played the Splatfest before that on Twitch. I did the action versus comedy movie thing. And I'm going to do I'm going to do the ARMS one too. There's an ARMS one this weekend, so I'm going to stream that on Friday. So if you guys are listening to this, tune in Friday night after 11. I'll do some ARMS streaming stuff on that on twitch.tv/NintenDomain podcast.
Were you action or comedy?
I was action because last week I said I hated comedians, so I went for the action side.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You were action, yeah.
Sorry, comedians. I didn't mean it really towards anybody who listens to this. But no, I did that, and somebody kind of trolled me. They did the thing where it's like, I just donated money to you. Have you seen that people do that on Twitch? I didn't even know this was a thing. You can change.
Did someone donate you money?
No, they didn't. It's a troll thing. They can't actually donate you money if you don't set it up. It's just what people do to like fuck with you. So I got trolled for the first time on Twitch. Somebody was like, I just donated $60 to you. And it says like, it's a way that you do it. Like you sort of hack the system for it to say like, this person donated $60. But it's not real. Like it's not, you can't donate if you don't have a, program set up in your webpage that has like, that's connected to like PayPal or whatever. So I was kind of like, oh shit, I got a donation. And then I looked it up and I'm like, oh no, wait, I was trolled. So I got both sides of Twitch. I got a bunch of.
Did you like thank the person and everything?
No, well, yeah, I did. I did thank him because I didn't know what it was, man.
You lost.
But I thanked all the people that.
Oh my god, thanks! Candy for my nose, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just said thanks, but I thanked all the people that watched my play on of Skies of Arcadia because I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. So I felt like because I like didn't die at all, and I went through a whole bunch of bosses, and I was like I'm cool. I'm good at this game. Which, by the way, I still love the shit out of that game. I understand like why I liked it so much when it came out. It was basically everything that I wanted that wasn't on 64. It was like the big like RPG, like with the open world and like big cutscenes and like everything's like the story is like one thing after another, and it's like pretty hard to get lost. And
the airships are pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's basically like Final Fantasy VI if it took place in the air the whole time. Is pretty much what it was.
And then the airship battles are pretty cool on their own. Like where
the
you
airship,
fight
the airship battles are badass. Yeah, they're sort of like it's like a turn-based strategy thing to it where you can do different moves. But yeah, I was like, it's been like almost. I mean, last time it's been like over 10 years since I played that game, and I was like, am I gonna like it as much? Maybe I just really liked it because I was starved of RPGs, and I played a lot more RPGs now, and I was like, I don't know if I like it, but I returned to it, and I was like, oh yeah, no, this game is badass. Like it's still badass. But it's like, yeah, it was exactly what I needed at the time. Like it kind of looks like a 64 game, but it has like, it has like 100+ hour campaign and all that cool, and like cutscenes, but like not a whole lot of voice acting, but pretty much it's like Final Fantasy VII, except it looks a lot better than that does. Like there's no like flat backgrounds, like everything's 3D. So it's basically like what the 64 could do if it was CD based, But I love that game, and why I wanted to stream everything and record all of it is like, I was like, I have to beat this game because it's awesome, and I have to keep playing it. So I have another video that'll be up before I post this, but it's been a lot of fun to play.
I had a Dreamcast when that came out on Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I remember I almost got it because the reviews were so great for that game.
I don't think you would have liked it because it's turn-based, but but it's great.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't quite know that at the time that I didn't like turn-based so much, but I just remember the reviews being so positive. I was like, oh, well, it's that game over there. Yeah.
It's really good.
Have you ever played the Dreamcast version?
No, I never did. I have a Dreamcast, but I never got a hold. I mean, it's kind of it's a pricey game. Like, it's pricey enough for the GameCube, but it's more pricey for Dreamcast.
I didn't realize it came out when I was in college. Man, I think it makes me feel old.
Yeah, it came out in like 2000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 2000. Well, I mean, the GameCube one came out when I was in college because that one came out in like 2002.
2003, yeah.
Yeah, or 2003. I thought it was earlier than that, but because I remember playing it in the dorms, and I thought I was out of the dorms by 2003, but maybe not.
I'm just looking at the Wikipedia page.
Sure,
but no, I remember it on Dreamcast. I never was able to get a copy of it, but I remember my cousin Rob. There's this store in Champaign where I live now, which is just across the way from Best Buy. Now it's a Verizon Center, but it was a used game store, and we would go there from Lincoln. We would come visit, every weekend, and they always had another copy of Skies of Arcadia on Dreamcast, geez. And it was always like $20. It was, and he would turn around, and he'd sell it on eBay, and he must have sold like 10 copies of that on eBay. Like he just kept going back there and buying it and then selling it for more on eBay.
That's insane. That's like a fountain of youth or something. It's just
I know, and I always wish that I could have like gotten one of those copies for myself.
Yeah.
Now they're like way more expensive, And I do have a Dreamcast. I think. You know what? Actually, I don't think I have a Dreamcast.
I think I have 2 Dreamcasts.
You have too many systems if you don't know which systems you have.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I have a Dreamcast anymore. I have a Saturn, but I don't have a Dreamcast anymore.
You have a Saturn? Dude, I never knew you had a Saturn.
Yeah, I have a Saturn.
Oh, man, I always kind of wanted a Saturn.
The only game I have for Saturn is Knights.
Yeah, it's about the only thing that's on there, right?
I really want Panzer Dragoon Saga, but, that's it's a pricey game.
Pricey.
Yeah, I was gonna say
really pricey.
I was gonna say I hear that they had some pretty cool RPGs on Saturn.
But the good thing about the Saturn is that it's really easy to bootleg discs for it. Like to get past the copyright shit at the beginning,
Yeah.
You have to get past to like get the game to boot initially. You can do that really easily.
Well, Dreamcast can too, right?
There's a light that it was like that on the PS1, yeah. But this is even easier than the PS1 because there's like a light that flashes when. Mm-hmm. Depending on what it's reading at the time. And so you can just go by the amount of flashes. You switch the disc, you put in an official game. Like, so I'd probably use Knights. It gets past the boot screen. I take it out. I put in the burned game and then it boots right up. So that's how I played through. I played a couple of hours of Panzer Dragoon Saga back in the day using that method.
Oh, okay.
So if I got my Saturn up and running, which I need to buy the hookups for it because I can't find them, I could download it and get it to play and capture it, but I don't think I'd ever be able to afford to buy it.
Are the hookups really expensive for that? Like even getting like a plug?
They have them at the. I've already checked. They sell them at Disc Replay. So
yeah,
one of these weeks, that's what I need to do. I just need to get my Saturn up and running.
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say the Dreamcast I know was really easy to burn stuff for because we made NES disc. Like you didn't even have to do anything, right?
No, because someone had made like a boot from scratch that you could put on a burned disc.
Yeah,
which is pretty incredible. It's really hard to do that.
Because
I remember a kid in high school. He just brought in a CD book one day filled with Dreamcast games that he burned.
Yeah,
just like handing them out. You want this? You want that?
Maybe that's why they went under, right? I mean, I know there wasn't a whole lot of support.
It was a Windows-based OS, and that had a lot to do with why people were so easily able to hack it because they could basically take shit from the normal Windows and convert it over or whatever. You know what I mean? So they could manipulate files on the actual computer and then put it back over onto the Dreamcast.
Yeah. I really wish that I would have played Skies of Arcadia when it came out for Dreamcast. I probably would have gone crazy and thought that was like the greatest system of all time.
It got really good reviews when it came out. I mean, I remember it.
I mean,
I remember it coming out.
If I would have played it when it came out, I would have been like, dude, Dreamcast is the best fucking system there is, hands down. It's what I would have said because, like I said,
and that had people on staff that contributed to Panzer Dragoon Saga. It says it on here.
Yeah, well, and Phantasy Star as well.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out what big RPG. Like I was like, they had to have worked on another RPG because it like ticks all the boxes of like what you want from an epic RPG. Like they're all in there for that game,
Well, the ship battles are a lot like what I remember in Panzer Dragoon when you're doing the dragon battles. They're kind of the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never played Panzer Dragoon.
Where you're like targeting different parts of the other dragon to like disable it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, this one, like you have to attack. You have to do different things at different rounds. Like if there's different colored squares. Like if there's a red square, you should guard during that because you're gonna get like shot with a bunch of shit. And there's certain times that you can do super moves and stuff like that, which you can do in the game whenever, like when you're playing the regular thing. It's kind of just like a variation of the regular turn-based battles that you do as your characters. But yeah, that game's awesome. Like it was all the things that I didn't get from the 64 is in that game. Like everything I wanted as a 64 game is Skies of Arcadia. Basically, is what it is.
That would have been the first RPG, right? The first big RPG for the GameCube.
For the Dreamcast? Oh, no. Well, yeah, for the GameCube. It came out like right when the GameCube launched.
It came out in 2002, yeah.
Well, it was like right at the beginning. So that was the very first RPG that I played on GameCube.
Oh, and no, it came out in January of 2003. But that's almost 2002.
Yeah. It was, I remember I played it at the dorms at Columbia in the, over by
it was within
700 Plymouth, whatever.
I remember seeing you play it, yeah.
I played the whole thing through there, and I thought I played it over a summer, but I guess not. Or maybe I got it later. But I remember I just played it until it was done. And it was like, and then I went and found all the extra shit, and I was like, done. It was like, it was great.
It was definitely hyped up a lot at the previous E3, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, I remember watching little
pretty stoked about getting it on the GameCube.
Of course I was. I was so deprived of RPGs because of those years of 64 with no RPGs. You know, I needed that turn-based RPG. And it was exactly what I wanted from there. And then kind of after that, I don't think anything ever lived up to it. Well, at that time, until I started getting back into the Dragon Quest games. And they filled
as far as RPGs,
they scratched
on the
that itch
GameCube,
that I wanted.
I'd say Tales of Symphonia was a really good one. And Bait and Kados.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot of, I guess, you know,
Skies of
Thousand Year Door,
Arcadia.
of course. Paper Mario.
Well, that game's
But there
great,
wasn't
too.
I can't think of a lot of really, really great RPGs.
Yeah.
There was like two Tales games, right?
The one was
there
on
another Tales
Wii.
game for GameCube?
The second one was on Wii. But there were two
okay.
Bait and Kados games. There was Bait and Kados Origins.
There were two, which I do own both of those.
Yeah. And there were some other like weird RPGs on there. There was like, what was it, Summoner? I can remember I got that. Probably traded it in.
Pan's Tower or whatever it is.
Pandora's Tower?
Pandora's Tower, that's right.
That's on Wii.
Oh, it was, you're right.
That's a Wii game.
That was,
that was a Project
Windfall.
Yeah, a Rainfall. It was an Operation Rainfall game. So I have one more game. There was another game I got. It's Fury, that Fury game that I was talking about last week. I got that game. It's basically...
Is that the one that you said Donkey liked?
Yeah. I understand why he likes it, but it's fucking hard as fuck, man.
It's like a boss rush mode, right?
Yeah, it's like a boss rush, and the bosses are really hard. And I kind of got pissed at it when I did the stream of it. I kind of almost rage quit it because I just could not. I got stuck on the second boss. I got stuck on the first boss. This game's hard. Like, it's super hard, but it's all about like it's kind of a lot like Dark Souls. I mean, not to say, you know, people say it's the Dark Souls or whatever, but it really is. It's like all about like you don't learn anything, like you don't get any new moves. They basically tell you everything that you can do at the beginning, and you have to use that to go through a bunch of different bosses. And there's no like platforming or anything. It's just boss after boss after boss. And it's like you got to dodge on time, you got to do counters, like, and that's the only way to get through it, really. You can't just like...
Do you get at least get stronger, or do your moves, does everything stay the same?
No, you don't get anything. You don't get
like armor or like an upgrade to your health, or
no, you don't get you don't get stronger at all. You just have to get better at the game. It's like what it is.
Oh.
Which is an interesting...
and then you start all over again if you fuck up?
No, there's checkpoints. I mean, there's checkpoints after every, like, boss. Like, I beat the first boss, and then I died a bunch of times on the second boss. But if I start again, I'll continue with that second boss, you know? But it's hard, man. Like, it was just like, yeah. And there's, like, you go through phases, like, they have, like, multiple life bars. So, like, that second boss has, like, 6 different life bars. And I can make it through like 3. And if you like, the way it works is like when you're whittling down his life bar, if he knocks one of your life bars out, it goes back to full. And vice versa. Like if you knock down his life bar, your life bar goes back if it's halfway down. So it's like kind of back and forth like that. But if you really like tough boss battles, it's good for that. It's just like, man, it was kind of too hard for me. Which, speaking of hard games, have you guys heard of Darkest Dungeon? It comes out tomorrow. I'm super psyched about it.
I heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
It's a 2D turn-based RPG. They talk about it a lot on Axe of the Blood God, which is one of my favorite RPG podcasts that I listen to. But it's supposedly incredibly hard. You basically have to die to succeed or whatever. But I'm going to do a play of it tomorrow. I'm super excited about it. It's a PC game that a lot of hardcore RPG people really like, so I'm excited to play it. It's coming out tomorrow for the Switch. For like $20-$25. It's not that much, but that'll be my lock of the week for Switch for Switch releases.
Oh yeah, I totally did mention that I got Energy Invasion, and I did a video of it.
You did. I watched it.
I just totally forgot because it's not that great.
The breakout clone. Yeah.
Well, it was only $2.99, so it was super cheap. And I was like, I can do a video of this as my new video because I'm poor.
Oh sure.
So I downloaded it, and it's like. It's Breakout combined with maybe even like Binding of Isaac a little bit, but only because it's like that's the control set. Because when you shoot your ball out, it doesn't, and it hits the blocks, it doesn't break them. What you have to do is while your ball's moving through the air, you use the right control stick to shoot lasers out of it.
Yeah, it's like a twin stick sort of thing, right?
What's that?
It's kind of twin sticky, right?
It is twin sticky, so you're controlling the paddle at the bottom of the screen like a traditional Breakout game. You know, you don't want your ball to go off the screen at the bottom, but in the meantime, you don't just clear the blocks by making contact with them. You have to actually shoot them. So you're using a twin stick shooting, and the bullets are flying out in the direction that you point. So it's pretty cool. And on top of that, you're also keeping track if there's like a little black hole at the top of the screen that's shooting out these dark energy balls. And if those hit your paddle, you die instantly.
Oh, geez.
So you're like dodging these black balls that are falling down at you, and they're bouncing around. They have the same physics as the other ball, like they're bouncing around the screen and stuff. So if it'll keep shooting them out incrementally. So sometimes they'll build up and there'll be like 10 of them and they'll all like shoot out at you at once. So that kind of sucks. But so you're dodging that and you're like shooting and like playing. So it's got this crazy like new spin on Breakout. And I actually had fun with it. I played it for 30 minutes or so.
Yeah,
got a decent video out of it. And,
yeah, I watched it. I appreciate it.
But it increases in difficulty pretty quickly.
Yeah, it ramps up pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, I'd say it's like the Dark Souls of breakout games.
The Dark Souls of Breakout games.
Yeah,
like Darkest Dungeon is the Dark Souls. Whatever. Anyway, I'm excited about that game too. One more thing, it's like Nintendo, but we need to take a break in a second here because it's like our longest intro ever. But we had a lot of shit to talk about. The Ys, or Ys, not Ys, Ys 8. I was like kind of doing a little research of old Ys games and stuff like that. It's a Nintendo thing, but you can buy Ys Origin on PlayStation 4 for $20. And supposedly that game's really cool. I should have looked at what it was. It's like an older game that was never translated because it kind of looks like a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 game. But I heard it's great, and I actually thought about getting it just to get myself familiar with Ys, because I haven't really played any Ys game.
You said on PS4?
You can get it on PS4 for $20, yeah, for $19.99. I thought about getting it because, I don't know, I want to play some Ys shit. And, another podcast I listened to, 8-4-Play, they said it was like that it was really fun and one of their favorite Ys games. So I thought about checking it out. It's called Ys Origin. I
just want to know why it's called Ys.
That's what the game's called.
Yeah.
And this is another super non-Nintendo thing, but I just wanted to mention, I noticed, have you ever tried streaming anything on PlayStation 4? It's like so much easier than doing anything on Nintendo because it's actually built into the system. Since we've streamed so much Elgato stuff, it's all you have to do is like press a button and hit Twitch, and then it just starts streaming. It's crazy. Could you imagine if that was actually in the Switch? I mean, maybe that'll happen with their internet update or whatever. But
I think it might. Yeah. I wouldn't put it past Nintendo, but then again, maybe not because of their whole partnership thing.
Yeah. Well, the only downside is I don't think there's any way to save the videos that you put on there. Like the setup that I have, it records to my computer, so then I have stuff to mess with afterwards. But still, if I wanted to stream Ys 8 or Ys Origin or Ys 8, it's on there too for $60. But because it's out already on PS4. But I could do it. I could do it way easier on that. So I might do it.
Easier.
Yes, easier. Anyway,
easier. But can you do the vocal? Or you'd have to have a mic, right?
Yeah, you can do it. All you have to do is plug a headset into the PS4 controller, and boom.
Ooh,
you got a
wonder
mic.
if you could use the.
You got a mic. Boom.
If you could use the Blue Icicle with the PS4, probably not.
You probably could if you could just get an adapter. I mean, you could use your. It
has USB
whatever.
on it.
You could use your mixer, I'm sure, to send whatever out. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to do it. Anyway, this has been like a super long intro. Let's take a break and talk about cardboard and shit.
Let's do it.
All right. Do you think that you can play? Chiptunes with the cardboard keyboard that you can make with the Nintendo Labo?
I don't know, but I want that. That's the kit I want.
Yeah,
I don't really care too much about the robot kit. It looks cool.
I'm really curious how the keys have like springs then, so they come back up. Like I'm wondering how that works. You know how you push down and they
right.
There has to be some sort of cardboard spring or something in there. I don't know.
Well, they're called weighted keys, and they're like if real piano players, if they use an electric keyboard, they want the weighted keys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. It kind of seems like.
Well, you can't really play it if it's like light cardboard, right? That's
too good
weird,
to be true.
Whatever, I don't know. Well, it kind of reminds me of the. Do you remember the E3 that everyone hated from Nintendo when the guy came out and played drums with a Wiimote on Wii Music? It reminds me of that all over again. That fucking dude. It's this next thing you know, it's going to be put your Joy-Con in a drumstick and then you have a drum set.
I think the difference this time around though is like on the cardboard they're encouraging people to just like repair it with tape if it breaks. Like,
well, you can.
They want you to either or print it out and redo it yourself. You can print it out.
Yeah, Jess said that you'll get print patterns or whatever.
Yeah, they give those away for free.
Yeah, like after you buy it, right? So you can reprint it or whatever.
You can get it for free whenever. I think that you just have to buy the game. So if they made all the games downloadable on the eShop,
yeah, then you can just print stuff.
then you can just print it out. Yeah, you'd still have to pay whatever the fee is for the game, and the game includes the tutorial of how to put the shit together.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched the video again real quick before we did it. I didn't take pictures of everything, but I did that.
It definitely falls into the same sort of like category as like the Ardu Boy. It's like in a weird way, it's meant to be an educational tool on top of just being for fun.
Ardu Boy is like a test thing that you would do for making games, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of people that make Ardu Boy games, that's their first game they ever made.
Oh,
that's what I've learned from the reviews I've done.
Well, no wonder they're like, hey, thanks.
They're like, this is the first game I ever made, and like that's what it kind of feels cool to be like playing that and being like giving my impressions of this, like the first game someone ever made, like.
Yeah, years down the road when they make their Dark Souls,
on their first exposure to the press,
like,
right?
Yeah, yeah, it'd be cool. You'd be like, when they make like Madden 3000 or something, you can be like, hey, I played your sports game on Ardu Boy.
Yeah,
you owe me.
I like how you kept the floating baskets in this game.
Yeah, or something, whatever. So yeah, there was another crazy, well, not even a direct, but a Nintendo YouTube thing. Thankfully, it happened Wednesday this time and not Thursday, so I appreciate that with our recording time. I'm sure Nintendo UK or whoever put it up was thinking of us. But
well, just think of the fact that when we originally recorded the last episode,
we kept saying it wasn't going to happen.
You famously, Trey, were saying there wasn't going to be a direct.
I did.
And there's been two. There's been
two. You were really wrong.
This isn't even a direct. This is just a trailer. It's not a direct.
I know.
Yeah,
I know, but still.
We should just tape this onto the last episode.
Yeah.
They had another
no,
thing at the end.
It's already 2 hours. There was enough there. And hopefully this one won't be that long. But yeah, Nintendo Labo just got unveiled today through YouTube. And man, Nintendo just really wants to take more of your space. Is basically what I got out of it. I mean, it's like I just got off my Amiibo craze, and now they want me to buy cardboard shit.
And you're going to.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm going to buy one of them for sure. I think I'm going to buy the kit that has the piano.
The piano, yeah.
I really am curious about the piano.
As silly as the robot one is, I kind of still want Project Robot to live, so...
Yeah, me too.
I still want to, because what was it? Project whatever it else was called became...
Project Giant Robot, yeah.
Well, the other one became Star Fox Guard, like Project Video or whatever the fuck it was called. But, yeah, I don't know, like... It's to me, it looks like Nintendo's trying to be like environmental. It's like, what if we like instead of making a bunch of like steering wheels and like tennis racket attachments, what if we made them all out of cardboard? So if you don't like them, you can recycle them at least. I mean, I could see a pitch meeting for that. It's like, why don't we get cardboard steering wheels and foot pedals instead of a big plastic thing? They probably they saw all those piled up Guitar Hero drums, and they
this has to be something they've been cooking up for a while.
I think that I figured that maybe this came out of, I don't remember when it was, but there was a meeting, whatever, like investors meeting where they said that they were going to target kids more. It was during the Wii U times. It was like in the dark times of Nintendo, and they said that they were going to, that not enough people do kid stuff in video game world and they were going to focus on that. And I bet you anything that's how where this idea originated, the Labo and all that.
We should start by saying exactly what it is, in case anybody didn't hear exactly what it is.
The Labo?
Nintendo Labo.
Yeah.
Is this whole new product line where you're going to be able to construct things out of cardboard cutouts and attach your Joy-Cons and make all kinds of crazy do-it-yourself stuff with it.
It's like the Arby's commercials.
Yeah, like those Arby's commercials. Yeah.
Functional versions of those things.
Because they use cardboard, yeah. Or like, there's games that are like that where everything's made out of paper, like Kirby's whatever. That game where it's clay and paper.
Or what about the new
Yoshi game?
The new Yoshi game, yeah, for sure. So maybe that'll be incorporated into that.
I think I would nearly bet money that it will.
And they definitely did say upfront about this, and a lot of people are freaking out about it. I don't know why, but they did say that this is for kids. Like at the they said it up front in their Twitter announcement. And
it'll bring out the kid in you, or something like that. Yeah, they said something like that.
No, it said it's like for kids or adults who have kids at heart. Yeah,
kiddie stuff.
Yeah, which John like got into the contest for getting to demo the Labo stuff. But I thought a requirement was that you had to have a kid. I'm pretty sure it said that in
It
there.
says that.
I'm just gonna make one out of cardboard.
I can see you like hiring one or just being like, "Hey kid, you want to be a," or bring the Pac-Man kid, your like nephew or the one that likes Ms. Pac-Man.
Right, I'll hire my.
Bring them.
I'm in Hollywood. I can hire a kid actor.
Yeah.
You gotta have a friend or a coworker that's a kid,
Yeah.
You borrow.
Can I borrow your kid for a day?
Yeah, you probably
Going
got
to do Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, there's probably all sorts of like future Jake Lloyds out there ready to get hired by you. You can do just get some
bad example.
Some kid with a giant head and big eyes, and you can be in it. Yeah, he's kind of crazy.
I went through the whole video and I broke down all the different stuff that they made.
Yeah, you took pictures of everything, so we can actually go through
pictures of everything. So there was a piano, there's a house, they're calling it a remote control car, but it looks more like a bug thing that moves around.
But you can control it; it moves, which is crazy.
There's a fishing rod. What was that thing I took a picture of? It looks kind of like that was the motorcycle. There's a motorcycle.
That's true. Yeah, there is.
There's a foot pedal, which looks like a drum kicker.
I thought the foot pedal went with the steering wheel.
So did I.
Because you sent us a picture of a steering wheel with the foot pedal.
People playing drums with a foot pedal, like in the final montage.
Yeah, like do you remember that E3 that everyone hated, where they showed Wii Music, and the guy came out and played drums with Wiimotes? It's like that all over again. Except this is
that
E3.
all over again. So this one's totally weird. I don't know what this is exactly. There's a little cardboard guy with a Joy-Con attached to his back, and then
he's like remote control too, right? Because in the video,
like remote control man.
Yeah, because in the video you hit a button and he falls down.
Or he falls.
Yeah, maybe he's like like that Japanese game where you like hit the table and the little like paper guys move around. You've seen him in like they were in a couple. I know they're in WarioWare, and I think they were in one of the Zelda games also.
Huh.
But maybe it's like that, where it's like sort of like a paper sumo game where you like hit the table and like.
Oh yeah,
your little paper sumo guys they rumble and like knock each other over or whatever.
Could be like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's the robot. There's a duck or some kind of bird.
Yeah, there's a weird duck bird seagull thing on there.
The bird's kind of weird.
Well, the camera's weird too. It's all kind of weird, man. I mean,
very weird.
So how do you? This is what I want to know. How do you think that the fucking keyboard works, like the piano? How do you think that works? Does it have to do with the infrared thing on the back of the red or the whatever to the right Joy-Con? Is it somehow going to read
on the keys?
Yeah, it's somehow going to read like what you're playing, like it because it's I don't know, like it sort of some of it kind of seems fascinating too. That it'll be
so it's reflective tape, and then it's going by the distance of how far away it is, right?
That's probably.
It's fine.
That makes sense,
them
right?
finding a way to
the signal back, and then the closer the key is. But then you would have to wonder, like, if it's a closer key, would it block the signal of the key that's further away?
I don't know. Well, I'm thinking there's the remotes are pointed inward toward the piano.
It uses two remotes,
and there's like a hole. So I'm wondering when you strike the key, maybe it brings something up inside the piano with the reflective tape on it.
Yeah,
there's also a knob at the top that you do something with.
Yeah, it said that some of these, like, you can like look in the screen and it'll show you like what's going on behind the cardboard. Yeah. Yeah, Jereme and I were talking over the break about how do you think the keyboard's going to work? Like, are the keys going to have springs on them or something? They have to like come back up after you play them, or like, are they going to have like key weight or whatever? I'm really interested to see how that works. Cause if you're just pushing the keys down, they got to have a way to spring back up after you push them.
I mean, if it's a big old, like, if the way the key is shaped is like a pork chop or something, you know what I mean? Where, like, it's really fat on the back part.
Oh,
it would pull it back up every time you pushed it.
I see. Yeah, like the gravity, whatever. Yeah.
Which is the way that keys work on a piano. So if it's similar to that, it would work in theory.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, the piano one I think is the most interesting one. It's just like if this actually turns into a fucking piano that you can like
it plays noise.
It'll play out of your Switch or whatever. I mean, I find that fascinating.
It's a full octave, so
yeah.
Maybe that's what the knob at the top is to like change the octaves.
Could they make like a? I mean, could you make like a mono synth with it or something where you can do it with like knobs where it's like where you can like make all the different noises? That'd be cool. I'm sure Joy.
I'm still perplexed about this blue one. I don't know what this blue one is.
I can't figure that out either. I've been looking at it since you mentioned it. It looks almost like a projector. That's like the closest thing.
Or like a radio or something.
Like
there's a
some kind of
box.
projector.
I thought maybe this
box with a dial
holes,
on the side. And
then
there's vents on the front of it.
Yeah, but those vents could be a speaker.
Maybe it's a speaker or something.
And the dial could be how you look at. I don't know. It'd be weird if it's a radio. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's part of me wants to say that it's. You remember the guy? You remember the guy in Majora's Mask? And he was in Ocarina of Time too. But the guy with like the wind up record thing.
Oh yeah, you get to be him.
You mean the song?
It's like
Storms?
that guy. Yeah, he goes da da da. Yeah, him. He's going na 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 na. You could be him, the guy with the
guy who plays the Song of Storms.
Yeah. He gives you. He's the one who gives you the Bremen mask, right? Where you turn into the chicken, and you can make the chicks become chickens.
As an aside, there's there was an episode of the Colbert Show this week where they were talking about Trump had the affair with the porn star whose name was Stormy Daniels. When they played out to the commercial, they played the Song of Storms.
Yeah.
On the Stephen Colbert Show.
That's awesome because I love that song. It's like
such a strange place for it to show up, but
I
it makes
know.
sense.
But it's such an eerie song. Like I love it. I love like how like haunting it is. Like na 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 na. Yeah, I like it. It's freaky. It was a good like foreshadowing to what we got in Majora's Mask. Kind of, it was the beginning of the freakiness of Majora's Mask. It's like we're gonna get real scary in this next one. Do a lot of weird shit. But yeah, I hope that it has to do with that guy. The weird dude. So there's like a gun thing in there. Is that what that is? The one with the hand?
Yeah, I think it's a gun.
Okay, and there's also but you think there's something that may be kind of VR related? There's one that looks like a headset maybe that you wear.
No, that I was just kind of joking with that one because that's with the robot. You wear the headset. Okay. You have the Joy-Cons on the side of your head by your ears, but then the front of the headset is just like an empty visor.
Oh, okay. I was hoping that you could put the switch in there. But maybe the cardboard wouldn't hold it.
The switch in front, but there's no place in the video that it's just a hole. I think it's just a design thing to look cool.
Yeah.
But you would look out at the TV, I'm guessing.
Would it do like some sort of head tracking then? Because the Joy-Cons are going to be like right by your head. So I mean, because I saw the Project Robot thing, which is pretty much what it is. I saw like exactly it showed the guy like he like hunches down and then the robot like transforms into like a car or whatever. So
right,
that's in there.
But that kid's totally the Karen in this video, by the way.
He's the Karen.
Yeah, they couldn't find Karen to do this. Come on. I mean, I guess it's for kids. They don't want adults that go to rooftop parties. They don't want them doing Labo.
With the robot
kid
just
though, totally getting into it. He's like totally committed to that role.
So there's part of the video where he puts the controllers on the side of his head.
Yeah.
But then also he's holding the controllers in another part and swinging punches. And so I'm wondering, like, why is it on the side of his head at one point and then he's holding the controllers at another point?
Yeah, right. It's got to be
4 Joy-Cons.
Maybe you could do more. Then you could do like one with 8 Joy-Cons.
I'm guessing maybe you just need
simulator Octodad.
Yeah, the Octodad.
Wouldn't you need 4? Yeah, Octodad simulator, nice.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you need 4 at least for your hands and for your feet?
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works. That'd be crazy if you need.
I don't know because it might. I think it's translating the controls somehow through the feet, but I don't think that you put Joy-Cons on your feet. Like I think somehow that control method or whatever that's happening with the feet is being brought up to the 2 Joy-Cons.
Yeah, it looks like in the photo, actually, I can see one blue thing. I'm guessing it's the Joy-Con on his right foot. And in his left foot, he's holding the other Joy-Con. And so as I'm recalling, I got to play Project Giant Robot when it was on Wii U. And
oh, you did?
Yeah, I got to try a demo of it.
Yeah, you went to an event where you played 101 and all
they
that.
had it at the E3 that I went to. The way that it worked was you were holding the Wii U gamepad, and you would kind of like lean it this way and lean it that way. It was more than a tilt, really. It was like you were kind of like swinging the Wii U. But in effect, because you were doing that, you were leaning your body this way. Like you would put your right shoulder forward a little bit with that motion. And so you felt like you were throwing a punch, even though you weren't really throwing a punch. And so I'm thinking that he's got one hand with the Joy-Con and then the foot on the opposite side of his body with the other Joy-Con. And it's just kind of reading the leaning.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yaw on the pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
maybe.
You're getting your X and your Y, and then it's like a combination of the 2 that produces the Z.
Right, like you can throw a punch with your empty hand, and your foot's going to lean back a little bit, and the game can guess, oh, he's throwing a punch with his right hand. That's what I'm thinking.
But how does the weird insect-looking thing move? Does it, like, vibrate? The thing that has all the legs that you can move?
That's something cool I saw. I think it was on the NVC chat that I saw someone say, like, God bless Nintendo that you're using the system to control the controllers. And I
saw that one, too. That was really funny.
Yeah.
The touch screen of the Switch is, like, communicating with the controllers and causing the vibration.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's crazy.
It's pretty fucking cool.
Do either of you remember a couple of months ago seeing a patent for that exact cardboard cutout? I swear I remember seeing the patent for it. And I remember them.
You mean like around
the... What the heck is this thing? This weird looking shape. And you put the controller in it, and nobody knew what it was at the time. I don't think I'm imagining it.
I
swear I remember seeing that patent.
Pull that up. Any chance we talked about it on the show?
Maybe. Was it like pre Switch time, like when they were patenting everything?
It was after the Switch had already come out. I'm almost certain the Switch had already come out at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't remember seeing it, but yeah, more crazy Toys to Life stuff for Nintendo. Yeah. I mean,
I think nobody could have
a little more
this.
Forgiving.
What?
I don't think so. I mean, I think when they said it was for kids, everybody sort of kind of like got into the mindset that this is going to be a peripheral based thing in some form or a toy to life.
Yeah.
This is like in between the two. I don't know if I would call it toy to life. I don't know if I'd call it a peripheral. I mean, it's both for sure.
What is it? A STEM? Is that what they call it?
It's where they intersect. What?
It's a STEM game, right? That's what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, STEM,
right?
Science, technology, education, and
STEM.
math. That's like a whole category of whatever. There's
Mario's
these toys
missing,
that are coming up.
Would that have been STEM?
Mario's missing. Mario's missing.
Like Mario's missing or Mario's Time Machine would have been like a STEM game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe.
They're educational,
right? I guess you didn't create
educational.
Stuff in those.
So somebody on the Nintendo voice chat forums posted this article stating that in the toy industry, STEM toys are on the rise. Like last year, there were 3% of the market. Now they're 5% of the market for toys overall. And so they posited that this is the reason Nintendo is doing Labo, because parents want toys that can help to educate kids and encourage them to build and become engineers and computer programmers and all this stuff. And I think that makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a big hit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of kids have Switches. I mean, a lot of people have Switches. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are like saying shit about it. Like, I don't understand why. Like, a lot of people, we haven't even mentioned like the price point.
Yeah.
It's saying $80, but I'm pretty sure that's with a game included. Like, they're not charging you $80.
With the game included.
People
are mad because they don't understand that it's more than just cardboard. And then the other reason I think they're mad is because this isn't something that's really collectible the way that an amiibo is. An amiibo is for kids, quote unquote, whatever. But at least it's something you can collect and put on your shelf and enjoy and look at. This is cardboard. If you're wanting to collect that, it's kind of like,
I mean, you can save
an unopened
container but you can collect it. I think like
you can do that. Yep.
You can still fucking collect it if that's really what you're all about.
You can collect it and not like keep
never
it
assemble
like,
it and just have an unopened copy of it if that's what you want.
Yeah. Do you think that every Nintendo thing disappears like when it comes out, but do you think it's going to be the same thing where like no one's going to be able to find a Labo?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's on Amazon and it hasn't sold out as far as I can tell. Well, the robot kit. I haven't seen anything else.
And it's for April release, right? It'll be right around the time of when we're getting
420, man.
It'll be Hitler's birthday. Way to go, Nintendo. Way to celebrate that shit. But
it'll be around the time of the Milwaukee show.
I was gonna say it's gonna be right when we're coming down from our Milwaukee highs. We'll be able to play piano within a cardboard piano.
It's your cardboard high.
Yeah, it will be coming right off of that show. But yeah, I don't know.
I haven't had a cardboard high since I hid in that box with the air duster.
Yeah. It seems to be that a lot of people are another thing that people like throwing a fit about is that like this is all we've seen of 2018. So they're like, okay, cool. We got Wii U re-releases in cardboard. It's like you people are dumb, man. It's like the first month of the year. Like Nintendo's got other shit up their sleeves. And there's a thing called E3 that they're going to show a bunch of stuff for. So
yeah, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's 3 E's in a row. E3.
Yeah.
No, it's true though. Like this is just a fucking like branch out. Like this is something that you would expect to see 2 or 3 years into the life of the Switch, like, okay, now we're using it for educational things. Like the iPad did that to a certain extent. They did that with Minecraft after a few years. They were like, we're going to start using it in schools to teach stuff. But, the Switch hasn't even been out a year yet. And they're like, here's another take on the Switch to make it like a positive thing for parents to buy their kids. Yeah. Boom, it's educational now. Like literally kids can learn like rudimentary engineering concepts. They can see how something works. They can play a game. They can build it themselves. They can learn how to fix it if it breaks because it's made out of cardboard. They can build a new part themselves and feel that sense of accomplishment. Like they can customize it. They can make it their own. Like I said earlier,
they can paint it.
Just jokingly, I don't know if I'll actually do it, but you could turn the giant robot thing into like a Godzilla or like a King Kong costume. Like it would control the game the same way, but it would just look different. It's like putting a new skin on your Minecraft character within the game. It's the same model, but it's got a different skin. You can do that with the cardboard so easily. So I don't want to shit on it. I don't want to talk crap about it. I'm going to buy at least one of them and give it a shot.
No, I'm not shitting on it at all. I think it's totally cool. I'm just saying, like,
right. I just want to be
people
clear
at the internet are saying, like social media.
Even
people.
though I'm going to make fun of it a lot. Just know that.
Yeah, well, we all are, but it's
too easy.
I don't think it's that easy to make fun of. I think it's also like a brilliant thing at the same time. Like that, they said it's for kids. It's a STEM thing. It's like crazy Nintendo, the toy makers. They're just it just doesn't really surprise me. It's nice that they get to be weird again. And it's like, hey, and they still gonna push that push the motion control here like big time. It's like, you thought motion control was going out. Well, look at this. Now you
how
can,
cool
like,
would a cardboard version
build
of
the thing,
the action grabber, whatever it's called. That would be pretty cool.
The action grabber.
Not only is motion control back, you're gonna look even stupider doing it. So fuck you.
Yeah, they need a cardboard edition of 1-2 Switch. No, not really. I hope they keep doing this every week. They keep showing us another. They're like, instead of having a big release every month, we're going to show you a new video every week for Switch. That's basically what we're going to do. That's our new plan.
Off the wall ideas.
Yeah.
Like, because we didn't even mention this week, like Netflix was like, there's been no talk of ever making a Switch app. And then they like backtracked and said, we would love to eventually make a Switch app if we could. Like,
it can't be that
difficult. That's
difficult.
The thing that happened this week.
Yeah. It can't be that difficult to make a Switch app, though. I mean, they've made one for every other system on the planet. I mean, there's Netflix on the 3DS. It doesn't look very good, but it's on there, and it's on the Wii and whatever else.
It actually looks really good if you're watching standard definition TV shows.
Oh, yeah. I did watch, I watched like a Saturday Night Live on there, like from the 80s, so that one looked fine, I guess.
I liked using it because you could just prop it open and sit it anywhere, and there was this little screen standing up for you.
Yeah, it's just, it took a long time to load anything, is what I had a problem with. Like it took a minute to play any videos off Netflix. It wasn't as quick as most things because the internet was kind of slowing it. But yeah, that's a big topic for this week. Labo. What do you guys think of that name? Labo. I mean,
like every other Nintendo name, it's going to take some getting used to, but it'll be like common. It'll be a common word soon.
Well, it's like,
we never thought we'd be saying Wii all the time. But
Wii or Amiibo.
Wii U, and then Switch seemed weird. It was like, well, now you're going to look up Nintendo Switch online, right?
What do you think? Everything that they could do now, like every peripheral, whatever extra thing, is going to end in Bo. Amiibo, Labo.
Oh, wow, yeah. It's
Switch Bo.
It's Bo. Bo's the thing.
Switch
Why Bo?
Bo Jackson's baseball. They're going to do that too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still.
Yeah, the Tybo app.
Yeah, Tybo. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to bring back Link's crossbow. Training.
Link's crossbow training. Well, now you can make
your own cardboard bow.
Yeah, I was going to say, now you can make a crossbow out of cardboard.
What about that fishing game? That game looked interesting because it looked like the line stays permanently connected to the wherever the screen is that shows you the fish. So
to the switch.
It seems
screen.
Like that would like break a switch. You'd be like, just pull it too hard and just fling your switch.
That's the first thing that's going to happen when somebody plays that. Is when the like fish bites, you're just going to yank it back, and the switch is going to go flying, and
that's going to happen.
The screen's going to get broken.
I think that's part of the plan. Is Nintendo wanted to make something where kids would break a bunch of switches, so parents would have to keep buying them over and over again.
We thought more would be breaking by now, but
yeah. Well, they're probably like
really gonna get them to break.
Well, we've sold more systems than we ever sold before, and we're like, how can we sell more of those? Well, we found out a way to make everyone break their system, so they have to go buy another one.
Buy them again.
That is our new idea here. That we're
here's what's great: all it costs us is some cardboard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there had to be some sort of pitch meeting where it's like, how can we like make the most money out of nothing? Cardboard. Okay, cool, got it. Let's get to work on that. Let's make some cardboard shit. I
The
feel like
president sat around the table. He was like, "Guys, we have too many boxes at this company. What the fuck are we gonna do?"
yeah, I was gonna say there has to be a joke in there somewhere, right? They had like old advertisements for Wii Music or something like that they couldn't get rid of.
Well, there was
like
a joke
stand-ups,
that
and
I don't
they
know
had
if it's his
the,
official account, but the PlayStation president or whatever. Because first
Kasserai,
off, it was like Nintendo's solution to the chat option, and it showed a cardboard telephone.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was also like what was the other one? Shit, I already blanked out. He's like, now there'd be just as many Switches in cardboard as there were Wii U's in cardboard right after it was released.
Yeah.
He's mad. He wishes he came up with this idea.
He's mad that they're making money.
But yeah,
I think
totally
I think
compared
really
it to the
cool.
Wii U in that way. It was kind of a pretty savage way to compare it to the Wii U.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I think a cool idea would have been, they came out with Mario cereal. What if they had put some kind of like pattern on the inside of the box and released this cereal back in December?
Yeah.
And then you were like, what is all this stuff inside the box? And then now they announced this. Wouldn't that have been cool if you could make something out of Mario cereal boxes as long as they're passing out cardboard?
Yeah, right. They're like, you can make a keyboard out of your cereal box. That would be kind of crazy and savage if they're like secretly
the coolest
released
thing
it
to make
already.
would be like a controller out of a box. That would be the best.
Yeah, right.
Just a simple NES controller where you like control the original Mario with like
big buttons,
these oversized buttons. Yeah.
What I want to know, see, like you could when do you get to make a gun? Like that'll just everybody will want it then. Just make a gun for Doom, and then you'll be good, right? Or make characters that you can
cardboard.
Well,
yes.
there is a gun. I mean, it showed a gun. It's one of the things.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't there. Well, no, what you need is for Doom is you got to make a cyber demon out of cardboard, and then you pull his head off, and then there's some cardboard blood that comes out of it. It's like one of those like pop-up books. You like pull a thing, and the blood comes up. It's great. It'd be like you do glory kills on big cardboard characters of all the demons in Doom. I love it. Do it right there.
So everybody get to work now on your cardboard constructions and make sure there's a spot to put your Switch inside there. I want to see some Samus uniforms, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
We have till April.
Well, I'm excited to play the car thing, like, having the steering wheel and gas pedal. I'd use that for Mario Kart 9, if it ever comes out.
Oh, that'd be amazing if it worked for Mario Kart.
But yeah, like that would make, like back the people who used to have like steering wheel sets or whatever in the 90s. Makes it a lot cheaper now, to have it for whatever racing game you're using on the Switch. So there's potential to it for people other than kids to get it. So
there's a lot of potential. And you know what I think they're going to come out with too? Once this is a hit, they'll come out with Labo Maker, which will let you basically like a Mario Maker interface where you can create any kind of software you want, and you can go out and
that would be cool.
Design your own cardboard stuff and cut it up, and I can see that happening.
But then they never have to make anything ever again because you make it. You got it all. You don't need to buy a game. You need to destroy the video game industry right there. It explodes.
Then Nintendo would just fly away forever. Leave luck to heaven.
But now that you figure out how to make it on your own, we don't need you anymore. And they fly off to their distant planet that they came from. They turn into whatever crazy being they were. Like, now I need to go back to Zarkon or wherever they're from. Anyway.
Let's go back to making trading cards.
Yeah. Anyway, that's been our show. Is there anything else you guys want to say on Labo? We're getting kind of long for this one. I didn't want to have it as long as last week.
Labo. I'm guessing it is pronounced Labo, not Labo or Labo.
Well, Labo's it's too close to labia, right? Like it's a little too
close to
weird.
labia. Yes.
Labo Majoro.
Yeah. So it's a Labo is also kind of like Lamo, or whatever. I don't know. Labo.
It's Labo. Laboratory.
Yeah, laboratory.
Obviously.
Labo.
That's it.
It's still just
I think it is rooted in the Japanese term for laboratory, actually. But that's just something I read online, so maybe it's not true.
Mm-hmm. But that's been episode 104. We are your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
Jerry Mikowski.
John Knitter.
And, you can find us at NintenDomainPodcast.com. Most of our stuff is on there. You can find the YouTube stuff at NintenDomain. No. You can find it at youtube.com/Fingmater, FINGMATER.
Please subscribe.
You can subscribe, so we can stay in their monetization, even though we don't make any money. And
tell 40 of your friends.
You guys should email us at NintenDomainPodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear an email from you about, how much we stink at making a podcast or anything. Whatever you want to send us. We'll totally read it. And, if you listen to us on whatever podcast thing, make sure to give us a review on iTunes if you listen to us on that. And, like and subscribe and tell your friends. Tell all your buddies. Tell your enemies. Tell your family members. Tell everybody who likes Nintendo, or maybe people that don't like Nintendo. Tell your drunk moms to listen to it, because they're totally into it.
Hi, drunk mom.
From what I've heard.
I hope you're listening right now.
Yeah. Especially ones that you meet at hotels. But, we'll see you next week, where we talk more about Nintendo stuff and that Retro Place thing.
And cardboard.
Cardboard. See you later.
See ya.
Crazy.
And he spent like a lot of money on it. I think it was like $150 or something.
I think I'm either going to buy an N-Gauge or a Gamecom. That's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get just shitty.
Serious?
I'm just going to get shitty handheld systems is what I'm going to get.